Think believe me, these niggas died of me. Look what I'm becoming. What I did, it made a man of me. All the that I did, I swear my
What it do, YouTube? It's Ty Fetty with the Fetty. Back at y'all with another video, man. Y'all know why we here. To handle business, man. Look, y'all, I know I need a haircut, bruh. So therefore, don't say nothing, bruh. Yes, I'm talking to you, bruh. I know you thinking like, dang, shawty need a chop. It's coming this week, bro. I be staying down grinding for y'all, bro. I be last thing on my mind be a haircut. So mind your business. Before the video start, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to say it again, bro. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to say it one more. Matter of fact, like, comment, subscribe. Before I gotta beat you up. Y'all know what's going on, man. Today, we got America's most hated Kingpin. We got Alpo Martinez. If you don't know Alpo, you about to find out about Alpo, man. Let's get it, man.
Now, you always up around Harlem. Alpo.
Yeah.
Rich Porter.
Listen, let me tell you something. Rich Porter, I used to listen. I used to see this little Rich Porter all the time because he used to like my cars and stuff. Like with my trees, always come around to Dapper Dan and look at my money and cars and stuff. But I'm looking at this little, he's just a kid, right? And then one day, one of the kids from Dapper Dan comes up and he says, Richard is dead.
Yeah.
And I thought he died from fucking, like, got sick or something. I didn't know. He's such a kid. I didn't know he's no fucking drug dealer. He's no kingpin.
Right.
He's just a little baby.
Right.
Wow. He's a little baby. I don't even look at him as an equal. He's a little child.
Right.
He's a big drug dealer. He used to be around me all the time. He used to never say a word. He's looking at me.
What did Alpo do?
Everything.
Everything.
Okay.
You know, and
It's everything.
Things that we could say we done crazy things back in our days, but he's done a lot.
It's a guy, yeah. It's a guy in there.
He died?
I don't know if he died. I seen, but I don't know. He was just laying there.
Shit.
Nah, he came from down there. The car just came.
I heard the shot though. I heard something like and then later on I just see
Sunday about 3:20 a.m., police were called to Frederick Douglass Boulevard near West 147th Street.
My whole thing with this whole situation, I remember when this happened, because it happened like last year, 2 years ago. It was recent. Bruh, if you know the rep you got in Harlem, where you from, what you did, you didn't snitch, etc., why would you ever return, bro? I don't care if you in witness protection or not, change your name, your identity. Bro, why would you ever go back, bro? Like, it don't make sense. None of it makes sense. None of it.
A dark red pickup truck crashed into parked cars. The driver was shot 5 times in the chest through the car window and killed.
I heard 5 shots. 1 and then four consecutive shots after that.
A mysterious Abraham Rodriguez moved into a modest Lewiston, Maine apartment sometime in 2015. The 49-year-old Puerto Rican just rocked up, set up a life, and befriended the locals. Abraham worked at Walmart for a while and eventually made enough to start his own construction company. He built an image as the construction worker, avid bike rider, and truck enthusiast. Oddly, Mr. Rodriguez had a thirst for life, unlike most men his age. Almost like he spent the last 25 years in a jail cell. He had more money for someone of his occupation, too. The luxury cars and the Harley Davidsons rose a lot of eyebrows, but no one asked any questions. Surprisingly, his first time at the local bank, he seemed clueless about anything bank-related. The teller asked him, "Have you never had a bank account?" To which Abraham responded, "No, I never needed one." He enjoyed skydiving.
Hey, we're jumping out of an airplane today?
Yes.
Why are you doing it?
It's on my bucket list.
Bucket list?
Yes.
Hey, you ready to check it off?
Yes, I am.
We're going 13,000 feet and going real fast back
Nice.
towards the earth. Let's go skydiving, baby.
Popping wheelies and hooping with teenagers in the park. He seemed like good people and a happy-go-lucky out-of-towner. On the weekends, he'd disappear on trips to New York.
That wave is crazy.
Come back with a truck full of girls and blast music out of his apartment. Mr. Rodriguez loved his trips down to the city more than anything, and they gradually became more frequent. Sometime in 2021, he made the 6-hour drive from Lewiston to his native part of Harlem for a Halloween soiree. It would be his last. In the revels of that Halloween night, Mr. Rodriguez left the party's venue and climbed back in his red Dodge Ram. A strange man walked up to the side of the truck and without hesitation fired 5 shots into Abraham. Mortally wounded, Abraham drove a short distance away while throwing a few heroin packs out the window as the strength left his body. He then crashed and expired. It was a big news story the next day. Shootings aren't anything rare in Harlem. It made the news because Abraham wasn't really Abraham like he said he was. He was Alberto, or in the streets, Alpo. And boy, did Harlem remember Alpo.
For sure. Like, why would you go back, bro?
They remembered the Puerto Rican kid who'd stand on the corner and sling heroin packs for the older hustlers. They remembered the 15-year-old who ran a crew of grown men, the long lines of crack fiends stretching blocks to buy Alpo's product. They remembered the matching jewelry and cars, the Dapper Dan garments they'd never seen before, the adrenaline seeker and attention junkie. And they remembered the man who murdered his friend. Alberto Martinez was born in Harlem in the 60s. Harlem of old was a gutter of New York and a far cry from modern Harlem. There wasn't too many ways off the block, so a good majority of Harlem's able-bodied men took up profession in hustling. The art of making money appeared out of thin air. By the 80s, Harlem was experiencing a change of the guard with the old hustlers doing decade-long bids and their former errand boys taking over. Alpo came up in this new crop of kingpins, right around the time crack hit the block. Crack was an instant sensation in Harlem, along with AZ and Rich. Alpo and company became the original bad boys and local celebrities in Harlem. High off the success of his crack empire, Alpo would pop wheelies on Harlem streets, hang with rappers, and had all the girls sprung. A happy-go-lucky teen, Alpo never struck anyone as the killing type. To those who knew him in his younger years, Alpo's character could be described as ambitious, harmless, likable, and charismatic. All the naivete would leave young Alpo once turf wars broke out and bodies started to drop. Alpo understood that to maintain power and respect, things would have to get ugly. But he was only aggressive when he needed to be, and rarely got his hands dirty. He didn't drink or smoke either. Alpo was all about the money. He wanted it more than anyone. By 87, the super team that was Alpo, AZ, and Rich had crumbled. In their prime, Rich and Alpo were best friends, but by 87, they weren't as tight, and they'd gone their separate ways in business. On January 3rd, 1990, Alpo and a friend would pick up Richard for his last ride. A few weeks earlier, Rich had cheated Alpo on the price of some bricks, or so Alpo claimed. Rich didn't have to lie about it, so Alpo lost trust in him after that.
That didn't happen. But I know the thing is, did I kill Rich? And yes, I killed Rich. Why did I kill him? It wasn't personal. It was business. I'm gonna tell you this, because Rich, like I told you, like the story I do with the connect and all that. Rich, he was lying to me about something that there was no reason to lie to me about, and in my mind, it just told me that if this little bit of money can come between what I thought was a wonderful relationship and a friendship, then no telling what you might sell me down the line for. And I gave him the opportunity to tell me the truth, not once but twice. So when I already came with the plan with my little man, and like, yo, if he lied to me, we just gonna do what we need to do. Then that's what happened.
Do you mind taking me on a tour exactly of where it happened, how it happened? No. You know, and kind of walk me through it.
Right here where I was meeting Rich that night. And I pulled up right here. He got into the van right here. And once he got into the van, I knew I had to lock. I locked the doors. And as I was pulling off, I was asking him, because it didn't take long after I pulled off, I was asking him like, yo, Rich, where did you get that coat from, man? That shit was good, because I wanted to make him comfortable. That shit was good as a motherfucker. He's like, I got it from my connect. I said, oh, yeah. So from there, I knew he was lying. I turned to my little man. I gave him the nod. Once I gave him the nod, my little man spent, because he was short, so he could stand up in the van. Next thing you heard was the 2 gunshots. Bang, bang. Richard slumped over, and it happened. It happened right here. It happened right here.
At this light?
At this light, it happened. I'm saying, in my mind, I'm saying to my little man, yo, he's dead. He's done it. He just got hit with a 357. Twice.
If you don't know what a 357, open a new tab up, look it up. And he not talking about no Glock. He's talking about like a Magnum 357. Go look up how big them bullets is, bruh. You get hit with 2 357s, you're supposed to be out. No cap.
How did you feel? Was you mad? Was you angry? Like,
Man.
what was going on in your head?
I was very mad. I just killed a nigga that I loved. A nigga that I was getting money with. A nigga that I called my brother. So I pulled over like right here, just threw the van up on as close as I can to the rail. Once I pulled over, my little man, Gary's probably like 5'3", 1 something, so I'm trying to stay behind this. I'm trying to stay behind the steering wheel. I'm trying to stay in the driver's seat just in case we gotta pull off, and have him go dump the body. But when he went to go try to dump, get Rich out the car, he couldn't pick him up. He couldn't pick him up. Rich was bigger than him, so he couldn't move him to put him in the woods and all that. So now I had to get out the van to go help him. And when I went to go help him, Richard made a sound. So that shit startled me. Like, oh shit, he's still alive. So I grabbed the gun. I grabbed the gun from my little man and put one in his head. And then I had to pick him up. I had to pick him up and dump him in the woods and leave his body. I was able to, get him where he needed to be. And then we jumped back in the van, and I made sure I didn't skid off or anything like that to leave any kind of tracks. And we left.
The job was sloppy, and NYPD found the body the very next day. Alpo played it off like he was shocked and scared about the whole situation. Soon after, Alpo packed up and moved his operation to DC. Alpo explored and learned DC first, learning the market and networking. Alpo took over after Rayful Edmond went down, DC's head honcho at the time. Alpo had met him already and had his blessing. Murder was the name of the game in DC, so Alpo and his cronies turned more violent. He understood that out there, killers respected killers, so he recruited Wayne Silk Perry as his enforcer, a man who claimed to have killed 100+ people in the 80s.
I just did a video on Wayne Perry. It's gonna be right here. Feel me? Go watch that joint, y'all. It's one of them ones. I can't lie.
A problem with Alpo was a problem with Wayne. Make sure to check out our Wayne Perry video for more on him. Dementia, another famous New York kingpin, established himself in the DC drug market after New York started getting less lucrative. As the story goes, Dementia either disrespected or was messing with Alpo's wife, something Alpo couldn't stomach. In a ploy to squash the beef and prevent any bloodshed, Alpo invited Dementia to a public basketball game for a face-to-face.
Dementia was a situation where he really disrespected himself and he disrespected other people, and that's why that happened to him. Okay. Yes. He thought he was tougher than what he really was. But I ain't play with them Brooklyn dudes.
You ain't play with them?
Nah. I ain't. They were cool. I had some cool ones that came up out of Brooklyn, but I just always remembered as a kid how Brooklyn used to like to rob you and all that.
Right.
How they was always known for robbing you. So that kind of like stuck with me in my time. But I met some cool getting money dudes out of Brooklyn, without a doubt.
Okay. Who hit him?
My man that was down with
Wayne Perry?
Not Wayne, but the kids that was up on the wing. Wayne, too many people knew him as far as right there, so we got one of his little soldiers to hit him. But I was shaking his hand. I told him, I said, when you see me shaking his hand, I nod my head. You hit him right.
You never feared that one of the bullets would slip off and maybe hit you?
No, I didn't care about that. I was shaking his hand. It was enough because they walked right up on him. I mean, it wasn't no like from a distance. As I was shaking his hand, they walked right on him and put the gun right to his forehead and blasted him.
That was in the daytime?
Yeah, daytime. Broad daylight. After a basketball game. I just got finished playing basketball in a basketball tournament.
So now, did that put the police right on you?
Well, they were already on me, so that just like let them know. Because later on, when they finally arrested me, they was like, "Man, you was killing off everybody." So that just gave them. They was already looking for me, so that was just something else that they put in their book, like another one.
So on November 7th, 91, Alpo went down, and Wayne shortly after. Alpo was facing death or life for 14 murders and drug dealings. But the feds wanted Wayne just as bad as Alpo. As the traitor he was, it came down to business in the end. It was never personal. Alpo could remember all the murders in detail and became the key witness against Wayne.
He didn't just kill him. What he did was first he stabbed us several times because sometimes we couldn't get into the spot. Sometimes we didn't want to carry pistols all the time. We couldn't get into the spots all the time. So we bought some nice switchblades. Right. Some nice sharp joints in case we had to stab somebody, we get up out of there. Right. So he had one of those knives with him. So he stabbed her several times first in the back seat. All in the face, in the head, in the body. He stabbed her several times first. Then he shot her like 4 or 5 times. Because this hooker testified against him, but he beat the case.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I know for a fact this video gonna get demonetized. But it's too fire not to give to y'all. So therefore, with that being said, if you still watching this video right now, man, make sure you subscribe, bro. Hit the like button, bro. I'm going hard for y'all, bro. I know for a fact I won't make no money off this video. But I care about my viewers enough to get y'all content that y'all want. So therefore, here we are, man. This shit fire, man.
Okay. So he beat the cat. Yeah, so her brains and everything was splattered all in the back seat.
Wayne stayed solid and never snitched on anyone. In the end, Wayne got 5 life sentences, and Alpo 35 years. Both at ADX Florence, home of America's least desirables. The party that was Alpo's first 25 years of life in the free world was over. His story went something like this. A young hustler grew into a millionaire kingpin, murdered his friend, cheated, and publicly executed a defenseless man, and ratted on a trusted partner. He left a legacy no one could respect.
Facts.
Not even hardened thugs. While Alpo did his 35-year bid, the world changed, and he became hood famous through bootleg paid-in-full DVDs, and then forgotten altogether as the years went by. Alpo got out in 2015 after doing 25 years, settled in Lewiston under the Witness Protection Program, and kept himself busy till he got that itch to visit his old stomping grounds again. Something deep in his psyche needed attention in Harlem. The government claims witness protection has a 100% success rate if you don't break the rules, but Alpo was never meant for a square type of life. When the mysterious sighting started in Harlem, Alpo was like a mythical creature. No one could believe it was actually him.
And Alpo, I just recently seen him. He came to my show at the Apollo. I had a big show at the Apollo with Keith Sweat and everybody, and he came to the backstage. I was like, yo, it's a ghost. Right. It's like seeing a ghost, but you know, seeing your friend from way back.
I wonder how he feels about himself.
The news outlets jumped on Alpo's story real fast when his corpse was identified. The name had faded from memory, but a good few still remember his glory days. Regardless, Alpo's name had an unwashable stain on it. Rat, traitor, double dealer, or any word along those lines. The internet flooded with conspiracy theories of who did it, but why seemed obvious to many. Comeuppance for a life of dirty deeds. In the consensus, no one felt bad for Buddy. The killer ran off into the dark that night, and no one saw who did it either. The chase was on for the NYPD and the Instagram detectives. On his last day, Alpo was on the phone discussing a movie deal with his old partner AZ, a chance to make some much-needed bread. He was killed the morning of the movie deal being signed. In February 2022, Shaquem Parker was arrested for the murder while already in a Rikers Island cell on a gun charge. Sometime the summer before, Alpo brushed past Parker recklessly in a way that implied disrespect, and by whatever twisted code Shaquem lived by, that meant Alpo had to die. Whether he knew Alpo before or how he tracked him down to that party has never been revealed.
Damn.
But when Shaquem hit Alpo 5 times that Halloween night, he avenged all the people Alpo hurt, and apparently made a lot of people's weekend too. Back in Lewiston, they couldn't believe it. His brutal demise and that Abraham was a mass murdering kingpin. Alpo could have lived out a quiet, honest life up in Maine. That was never how his story was meant to end.
Bro, that's crazy, bro. Like, I really wonder how he did feel about himself when he got out and got in the wet sack up in Maine. And, I just wonder if you ever sat back like, damn, I did do this wild ass shit. And see, feel me? Like, I just don't understand how you can do all that to people that, you feel me? And then try to go back to where it happened. Like, nothing gonna happen. And it's crazy that him dying had nothing to do with what he used to do back in the day. But like everybody always say, bro, you get out what you put in. You feel me? That karma always gonna come back around, bro. No matter the form, no matter when, how, who, where, what, why, it's gonna come back, bro. With that being said, man, I hope y'all enjoyed this story, bro, because I did, bro. It's Ty Fetty with the Fetty, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, bro. For real, bro. I'm trying, give y'all what y'all want, man. I just gave y'all a fire video. Y'all make sure y'all stay smart, stay dangerous. Catch y'all next time, man. I'm gone.